Hello! How's it going? Fire Fridays. Every Friday for you, fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Hello, welcome. Welcome to Fire Fridays. This is a general message for all three of you. However, I'm going by element this week simply because there is a reprieve. There is a reprieve from all 12 signs this week. It's about, you know what? We got responsibilities, right? We have things we have to do, priorities to prioritize, and I'm afraid this is how it came to be. So hopefully you can forgive me for that. This is your fire element in general. I feel like I've been giving the same reading to almost everybody for the last 2 weeks anyway, like slight variations, but the theme's been constant. So I trust that Spirit will have what Spirit has for y'all. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're using the Santa Muerte, and we'll be clarifying with Hermetic today, and in the usual format for me. So, yes. Yes, Fire Fridays. Yes, Aries. Yes, Leo. Yes, Sagittarius. It is hot in here because it's Fire Fridays, and it's the middle of summer, and I'm in a van, and yes, it's not just you that's hot. It's hot. It's just hot, okay? But anyway, let's get into it right now. Don't mind my rambling. Especially those of you that are new. Oh, and also, by the way, Leo. Happy birthday, Leos. All the Leos out there, happy birthday. Leo season's one of my favorites. They don't have hardly any Leo in my chart, but regardless. Okay, we're kicking it off with the Ten of Wands. All right, love to see that. Love to see endings at the beginning of the reading, because that means there's something new coming, right? We have the Eight of Cups. Yes, we do. Okay. And we have the King of Cups. Okay. Without even looking at the underlying, I'm going to say one thing that's very important to understand is that walking away from situations can oftentimes be the emotionally mature thing to do. Generally speaking, it's more emotionally immature to hold on to something that you know you shouldn't be holding on to. So I like to see this energy. 10 of Wands, 8 of Cups, King of Cups. It's like, for many of you, you may be checking out of a situation that ultimately you knew wasn't healthy, wasn't right, or perhaps have given up on some form of chase. You know, I mean, I hate to be like so direct and, you know, obviously take it as it resonates. But, you know, for some of you out there, it could just be that somebody you've been pining for, maybe you've sort of recognized that that's not the most healthy energy to be in, right? And so you're doing something about it, which is lovely. The world is on the bottom of the deck. Let me shout it into your face. The world's on the bottom of the deck. This is a major cycle. Fire signs. And that's a story right in and of itself. I won't stop there, however. We'll get some clarification. I think that's awesome. Somebody's made a big upgrade in the way that they have been relating to others, discovering your power, you know, and that walking away, the Eight of Cups energy, that walking away energy, it's actually a card of empowerment, as is the Ten of Wands, I feel. You know, releasing a burden, it can be very difficult. It's a burden for a reason. It's not a burden because it's heavy. It's a burden because you have it on your freaking back. You know, mountains aren't burdensome if you're just observing them from a distance. They become burdensome when you try to walk over the top of them. Okay? But there's an emotional maturity that's been gained with that King of Cups card, and that's ended a cycle. So, interesting energy. Okay. Without further ado, let's get some clarification on the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands. Oops. We've got the Five of Pentacles. Lord of Material Trouble. Okay. Make sure this is all... There we go. We've got the Eight of Wands, Lord of Swiftness. Okay. And we have the High Priestess. The Priestess of the Silver Star. This is, in the Hermetic Tarot, this is thought to potentially be, quote-unquote, Pope Joan. I'm not sure of my Catholic history or my alternate Catholic history, but Pope Joan was a female priestess. And then also it could be represented by Isis as well. Really most people believe it to be Isis or Hathor. Anyway, I don't know what that was for. I'm just giving you a little random history lesson. We have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck right now. So The Queen of Pentacles works so hard to cultivate the environment that she wants to be in. She's a diligent, hard worker. I'm sort of reminded of the virtuous woman in Proverbs. I want to say Proverbs 31 in the Bible, for those of you who care to read it. I mean, to be frank, I don't usually, but I'm remembering the wise woman. She wakes up early. She's about her business, you know, cultivating her crops, all that good stuff. So there's an energy here of diligence and like trying to create and fabricate the environment that you want to be in. This 10 of Wands, I think, is releasing a burden of fear of loss. The 10 of Wands, we were releasing a burden. The 5 of Pentacles is like fear of loss, fear of being left out in the cold. It can literally mean physical setbacks in some form or function, but really it's more of I think it's a fear that you've overcome. It's something that's been overcome through your intuition with this High Priestess card, and also with the 8 of Wands being clear. It's sort of a card of like clear communication, or the way I like to envision it is like with all the 8 wands in the rider classically are all oriented in the same direction. It's like all of the fire in you, all that passion is directed towards a common goal. So there's some clarification coming in as you've, you know, gotten more into the groove of like knowing what environment you want to cultivate and working towards it, having all of your passions aligned to your intuition, to your gut, and to your inner knowing of something. And that's given you the ability to overcome the fear of loss within the 5 of Pentacles and release a burden. Okay, I love that. I love that. Let's get into this 8 of Cups for our dear fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sag. This walking away, it could be another person. It could be a career path. It could be a lot of things. It doesn't have to be love related. Cups are obviously water, and they're regarding emotions. They're regarding, which typically are invested in relating to others, but there's nothing, you know, 8s in the tarot are very individualistic cards. You know, generally speaking, they have to do with personal empowerment or a lack thereof, basically. So you could be in an emotional response to a pentacle related issue, like a career type situation. Take it as it resonates, dear viewer. There's something distilled at the core of this message. It's for everybody, but if it is very specific to you, then awesome. It's for you. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, right? Every tarot reads a roll of the dice in that regard. I don't know what it'll serve for people one way or the other. But 8 of Cups. I digress. All right. Regarding the 8 of Cups, we've got... Here's our 3 cards. Perfect. We have the 2 of Wands, Lord of Dominion. 2 of Wands is about, again, gaining a clear perspective on where you want to go. You know, usually, oftentimes in the 2 of Wands, in certain decks, I see it represented with the lock and the key on the end of each wand. And the lock and the key obviously speaks to doors being open to you, in the sense you've the lock and the key, right? The lock and the key. Okay, 2 of Wands. We've got the 10 of Pentacles, Lord of Wealth. We went from the 5 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles. That's substantial. And then we have the Magician, the Magus of Power. The Magician has all the tools he needs, or she needs, or they need to achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. And the recognition of, what is a tool? Hey, cool. That's an interesting insight. What is a tool, really? What is a tool? Is anything that any inanimate object that you find a creative way to make, to either use it as a resource or manipulate it into a resource. In other words, tools are something that come from a state of mind. That's exactly what the Magician does. The Magician takes lemons and makes lemonade. You know, any situation in your life that feels like an obstacle or a difficulty or a hardship, it's like the solution to that always begins in the mind. It begins with the frame of mind. It begins with the mindset. So I love that. That's really cool. By the way, each and every one of you is a magician, just saying. So what I think is going on here is this 8 of Cups, walking away from what doesn't serve, finding that active empowerment, has really, again, focused you on a new path forward with this 2 of Wands, where you see something that you're wanting to pursue. I think it's something that potentially will bring you a tremendous amount of abundance. Literal wealth, literal health, abundance. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lord of Wealth, yes. So you could have something in mind that's really going to drastically course correct a career situation, or maybe it's an entrepreneurial situation. I don't really know, but it's something to do with how you get your pentacles, and I feel like there's been a major upgrade in your perspective on something that's giving you the key, that aha moment, and you're going to really suddenly learn how to unlock your wealth in a very beautiful way. Four of Swords is underlying the deck. Rest, Lord of Rest from Strife. This is, I like to think of the Four of Swords. When I see this card, the thing that really comes to my head is Hermit. The Hermit card and the Four of Swords have a lot in common, in my opinion, because it's like, if you have had a setback, like the Eight of Cups, as much as it's empowering, it can be sad, of course. Like, acts of empowerment aren't always joyous. They can certainly be emotionally discouraging or distressing, but as you're resting and recovering from that heartbreak, that setback, whatever it is, rest from strife, right? From that strife, you have an opportunity to utilize that time. You know, the Four of Swords is an invitation to go into hermit mode. It's an invitation to go within and really seek your inner wisdom. And your inner wisdom is there. Everybody has wisdom within them if they choose to look deep enough. It's like excavating the layers of programming and of all the things that we associate with our true character. As we excavate them away and pull back the layers, it's like, what is really at the core of it? What's underneath all of that, right? You have an opportunity to gain that wisdom, and then, of course, that is the key here, to this magician energy that will seemingly give you the opportunity to really move forward in a new and amazing way, fire signs. This is awesome. This is awesome energy. All right, I would love to see what's going on with the King of Cups. These were upright. I'm taking them. Okay, we have Knight of Swords. We've got the Three of Cups here. And I do need one more card before I get into it. Knight of Swords is Lord of the Winds and Breezes. Knight of Swords is obviously, well, not obviously, but it's the fastest knight in the deck. It's a quick mover, person who really takes bold action. Well, and action is kind of an interesting one, because swords are all about the mental state, and communication is air. And I would say that it could have a lot to do with really like a state of mind where you're learning how to act boldly or act swiftly or not overthink things, perhaps. We have the Three of Cups there, which is a card of, usually a card of celebration with people, right? Typically, in like the classic Rider, it's, the three friends like celebrating, enjoying the wine together as they've done. Now, as they've done, I don't know what that means. Okay, Three of Cups, Lord of Abundance. Lord of Abundance, I like that. Sometimes I need to get the Rider out of my head and like let the Hermetic speak for itself. I tend to, I reference back to the Rider frequently as a learning tool, but every card set has something different to present, and I often will, sometimes I need to slow myself down and just take a look, What I do think is interesting, though, we have the sign of Cancer, we have the sign of Mercury, which Mercury is a planet of, it's a messenger planet, basically a planet of communication and things like that. And I think part of the abundance, the key to the abundance here is that learning that communication style, learning to, it almost feels like something of a connection within you where like you can begin to trust some of the strong urges to take action that from this Knight of Swords. It's like, I feel like it's almost like the sign of Mercury feels like a freaking phone. I'm seeing like a phone on the wall, and it's almost like you're calling yourself. Okay, I don't know, take it as it resonates. Was that weird? Yes, it was. Do I care? No. If I did, I wouldn't be posting on the internet anything, probably. So, we have Strength here, Daughters of the Flaming Sword, aka Fortitude, aka Leo, right? All right, Leo, happy birthday. Again, this is boldness. This is really showing up boldly in the 3D, showing up boldly in the world. So you've got, and that's so funny, I was talking about a phone and communication. It's like this Three of Cups way outside of the box here. The Knight of Swords is like your internal messenger. Knights are usually coming forward with something, and it's like sometimes it can be an external person. You may have somebody that sort of comes forward with an opportunity rather swiftly and almost feels rash. Like when somebody's like, hey, I got an idea, we're going to sell bowling balls door to door, and we're going to make $1 million a month, you know. Use your wisdom. Obviously, if that happens, I wouldn't recommend it probably. It could be that, but I kind of almost feel like this is more of an epiphany within you. It's almost like this messenger is internalized. And you will be sort of in a celebratory energy with this energy. You may just feel really, really excited for this new opportunity that you're having. You're sort of celebrating you're celebrating even the fact that you've taken the step, right? So we have strength here, and I think that, again, this is basically the external world, showing up boldly in the external world. And it sort of started internally, you know, that communication process bridged from the internal to the external. Way out of the box on that, but that's what I feel. It's like this really just sort of that Knight of Swords is inside of you, encouraging you to be bold, right? Encouraging you to get into your bold energy. Wow. All right, underlying the deck here is the Queen of Pentacles again. You remember we were talking about the Queen of Pentacles earlier. Underlying, actually, at the beginning of this. That's so funny. Cultivating the environment that you truly want, being diligent about it, working hard towards it. This is, I guess if I could distill this energy down, it is persistent diligence in creating a space. So I guess what I'm getting here is like that is very much part of your energy at this time, my dear fire signs, is that you are really insisting like, no. I know the kind of life I want to live, and this is how I'm going to work towards it. So, and part of working towards it sometimes means cutting stuff out, getting rid of things, you know. That's really interesting. Wow. Okay. I would strongly encourage you to watch 80s movies with training montages. And I don't know, I feel like you're kind of fired up. Fire signs. It's like some of you are really on the cusp of like, you're kind of pumped. Like I think some of you, you're frustrated. Some of you are very much probably still in an energy of like stuck, frustrated. Really things are coming to a head in your life, and I feel like it's almost time for you to like kick on the Rocky theme and just like start your training montage, you know, to take new steps towards something different, completely different. There's a fire burning deep inside. Yeah, it's like 80s. I'm just picturing 80s montages and like all of that, like that's what I'm getting. It's quite fun. It's quite fun to think about. This is part of it, by the way. Being a reader on the internet, you get to look very weird, and as you're shuffling cards, you might start thinking about, you know, dance montages and lifting heavy weights and doing backflips and gymnastics, and there's like crazy inspirational 80s rock music playing. I don't even know. Okay, whatever, I'm going to stop talking. Let's get into the outcome, shall we? I think I said what I needed to say there. All right, our potential outcome here, we have, oh Lord, it's the Eight of Pentacles. Yes, it is. The Eight of Pentacles, working hard, cultivating the craft, the skill set, the crafts that you have. It's diligence. It's sort of the Queen of Pentacles energy, put to action in a sense that you're working hard at what you want to see happen, working hard towards the things that you're passionate about. We have the Sun. All right, so we've got some Leo energy pretty heavy today with the Sun and with strength here. The Sun also is just, it's the card of abundant celebration and happiness, you know, dare I say success. We have 10 of Pentacles. We have the Sun here. This is awesome. I love to see this. Okay, yeah, some of you are just really getting ready to step through a gate, you know, you're really getting ready to step through a portal, you know. Okay, yeah, you're stepping through a portal. Queen of Swords, as another card of potential outcome here. The Queen of Swords embodies the energy of just not taking any BS. You know, I think you're literally going to cut situations out of your life, potentially cut people out of your life, and really, I think you're taking a stand for your autonomy. You're taking a stand for your autonomy because you also have a very strong sense of justice here. Something is not fair, and you know it. And I think this is, to me, the way that this Queen of Swords is the last card that I'm pulling here, and it's right opposed to this Ten of Wands, which was the first card I pulled, which is talking about releasing a burden, putting it, you know, an ending to a burden, releasing something. It's like that's exactly it. The potential outcome here is you recognizing what's not just in your life and actually taking the steps to cut it out, to release burdens, you know. It just starts us right at the beginning again. So this potential outcome energy here may be where we're actually starting for some of you. You haven't actually gotten into this energy yet. Some of you have. But this is like, you know, like I said, that energy is welling up. It's pent up. It's starting to come to a head. And you're going to cut it off. I really do think so. Underlying here is the Two of Swords. Two of Swords, and this is very interesting against scissors, right? Scissors. Like, what are you going to cut out? And this is a good example, though, I would say. Scissors aren't violent. Scissors aren't violent. They're not designed to, you know, they're not really designed to kill things or shed blood or anything like that, right? Scissors are designed to separate one thing, you know, to cause a separation, right? To remove something. But the way in which it does it is not with any sort of violence behind it or messiness behind it, sloppiness behind it. The Two of Swords is really about that too. It's like you have a bit of a rest from your strife in a sense that, like, if there's a calm moment, and it gives you the opportunity to think outside the box about how you're going to remove an obstacle from your life. You're not removing an obstacle under tension, under duress, or under stress. It's like you have a moment to sit and reflect, and you can actually figure out, okay, how am I going to remove this obstacle? So you could almost think of the scissors as being somewhat surgical in nature as well, in that regard. So, fire signs. If you're ready to start your training montage, I think the cards are suggesting that you have an opportunity here. You have an opportunity for real happiness, for real success, for real joy. An opportunity for your Ten of Pentacles moment. You've got your intuition with the High Priestess. You've got your external boldness with the Strength card. You have discipline with the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. I think all of the tools you need, you have the Magician out as well. You are operating in a bold and beautiful energy. So, my friends, it's time to take that step, right? The Two of Wands energy from earlier. It's really time. You've got your eye on something. It's time to take action. Okay, fire signs, until next Friday, every Fire Fridays, I hope to see you next time. But until then, best of luck with this energy. If you're not subscribed and you resonate with this message and you can handle my weirdness, please subscribe. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you feel like you'd like to leave a comment, I would like to read it and reply to it. So, because that's kind of how I roll. Anyway, I hope to see you next week. Until then, best of luck with this energy and have a beautiful season of cutting away and plotting your course. Okay, bye.